a suicide pact. We came to you with an offer of peace, but you rejected it and took to the streets. Russian collusion, no one will buy. We read the memo and we know it's a lie. We know where you live, we know where you sleep. We're fully trained and we're on to the team. We saw you coming and we... All right, everybody. It's Holy Joe Rock and Roll coming at you live and unscripted from the man cave. President Trump just gave guidelines for the reopening of America. And as you can see from the title of this video, which I think what was it? COVID-19, it's over. COVID-19 is over. USA is opening up. So the basic guidelines for a state or for a county to reopen is that they haven't had any like new cases in the last 14 days. So that's like 28 states is in that category already. So, you know, a lot of states are going to start opening up. So real quick, I mean, you know, we don't need to bury the lead, folks. For all you black-pilled MFers who thought that this was the beginning of the globalization takeover, FEMA camps, all that nonsense, obviously not on Trump's watch, all right? Obviously. The man is smart, and, you know, whatever you want to think about Fauci or Burke or whatever, these doctors, may be true, may not be true. That's not important. The important thing is that the virus, while in some areas it's still a big issue, and those areas will remain relatively closed down, but areas that are less affected or not affected are going to be opening up pretty darn fast. So that's the important thing, and that means that for me, I'm in Poland. Probably Poland will be opening up pretty soon. Now, look, it doesn't mean that things are going to go back to normal. It just means that for the foreseeable future, you know, you'll probably have to wear a mask. If you can work from home, you should still work from home. If you are sick, you should go home. You should stay home. If you go to work, if you go to the office and you're feeling sick, you should just go home. If you know, whatever. Those are kind of, you know, you're not going to be shaking hands. I know a lot of companies, for instance, you know, I know some of these big tech companies said that until further notice, nobody's to do handshaking, right? So just some of these common sense type measures is what's going to go on and go forward. Now, we also know that typically viruses have a cycle, and in warmer weather, if you believe that they're transmitted through spittle or through some kind of a moisture cloud, when the weather is hot, they're unable to transmit as easily. So we're starting to get into the warmer weather, and it's going to be less of an issue as well. If it does reoccur in the fall, they're ready to jump on that stuff, right? With hydrochloroquine, zinc, and Z-Pak, we know this is an effective remedy to lessen the effect. But we also know that probably 80 to 90% of the people who maybe are infected with the COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus, will have minor symptoms. And I've talked to several people who in either late February or early March felt sick. They don't know was it the flu, was it allergies? I mean, people really don't have allergies in February. That's usually in the springtime when there's a lot of pollen. So was it the flu or was it COVID? You know, I know several people that I talked to that had some kind of issue, and it lasted a couple of days. You know, and different descriptions. You know, some had, you know, more symptoms than others. Some had a dry cough, some didn't. You know, it's always different. So we don't know yet until there's an antibody test out there that could potentially tell us if you were infected and if you survived it, and then you probably have antibodies to it. But in any event, this has been a lot. Look, I'm not making light of the people who died because of COVID-19, but a lot of those people probably would have died anyways because of any kind of a flu virus, maybe or maybe not. We don't know. We don't know for sure, right? There's no way to know that for sure. But we do know is that the death tolls, at least in the United States and in most of the world, were not as high as expected. And there's got to be other cofactors related. Now, some, including the lizard man, you know I'm talking about, the man who thinks that the oligarchs, the elites, the power behind the power, they're lizard people, descendants of dinosaurs. This guy believes that COVID-19 is a protein that is released. Oh, he called it genetic material. Genetic material that is released when cells are under attack from radiation. And he's blaming it on what's it? G4? G5? What's his new technology? The cellular technology. 5G, not G5, 5G. What up, G? Look, I don't have an opinion on 5G at the moment. Except that I don't think that it's necessary unless you want to have a police state in your country. Well, I don't know how long before Poland relaxes the stuff, but they just the 16th? So it's now Friday, technically, because it's 1:50 a.m. Friday, April 15th. Yesterday, April 16th, they just mandated masks, face masks. And luckily, as you know, I invented the 2-liter soda bottle eye covering, which can go with a face mask. And that's fine. I mean, look, I think that's going to be fine to, I mean, why not? I mean, for the foreseeable future, whatever. But they should start relaxing, restaurants. If you have, 2-meter distance between tables, they should open them up. Maybe people have to, the work staff have to wear masks, right? The customers have to wear masks unless they're eating. Things like that. I mean, for a few more weeks, maybe, let's say a few more weeks. But I don't know about Poland. Haven't heard anything, updates on Poland. I hope that they unlock Poland because I need to get back to some karaoke. Yeah, karaoke. So anyhow, I just want to break it to you. I'm usually one of the first and the fastest to get this information out. If you have not been listening to President Donald Trump's daily briefings on the coronavirus, that's what just happened today. The basic gateway is that, I guess, if a county or a state or an area hasn't had an uptick in cases in the last 14 days, they're eligible to move into phase 1, which is the loosening up of restrictions. Now, they're still recommending face masks and social distancing, like I said, and working from home if you can. But look, it's over. Guys, it's over. This has been an overreaction. We're not going to destroy our countries, our economies. More people will die from this so-called cure than from the virus itself. You know that. If 6 million people or 10 million people in America have filed for unemployment, come on. Let's say, if 1% of those people die, that's 100,000 people. That's more than the coronavirus. Did I get that right? Anyways, do the math. So it's over, and we're going to come out of this. And if you have some cash, I think now would be a good time to hit the stock market. Look for companies that are going to bounce back quickly. I don't mean travel. I don't mean Boeing necessarily. But today, the stock market is up 33, just up slightly. 33 points, the Dow just industrial average. Look, we're at 23. I called the bottom. The bottom was around 19,000. I called it, and I said that this feels like a bottom to me. And anyways, my powder's been dry. I would have. It's a long story, but because I live in Poland, I'm restricted. I'm restricted from buying, so I wasn't able to buy. But I would have bought, and everything that I would have bought has gone up. So whatever. I don't know how Polish stocks are going to do, but U.S. stock futures surge on promising signs for Gilead COVID-19 treatment. By the way, there's been some new treatments coming out. Gilead, I don't know what their treatment is, but it's a virus. So they're coming up with ways to stop the replication of the virus or whatever, mitigate the spread of the virus. I'm not sure what Gilead's solution is, proposed solution, but it's over, people. So get ready to rock and roll, okay? Get ready to rock and roll. And for those of you that have been watching and staying safe, thank you. Stay safe. Be cool. Don't let this stuff get you down. We'll be back to normal, as normal as possible, as soon as possible. So just be aware of that. And remember to always make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain. Stay safe out there. We'll talk to you soon. We came to you with an offer of peace, but you rejected it and took to the streets. Russian collusion, no one will buy. We read the memo and we know it's a lie. We know where you live, we know where you sleep.